Hi, I'm Amanda Abraham, and I will be interviewing my mother, Elaine Abraham, on the blizzard of 1978. Today is March 13th, 2011, and we are interviewing at my house in Bolton, Massachusetts. It's around 6:11 p.m. Miss Abraham, do I have permission to interview you and share this with my teacher and classmates?
Yes.
Do I have permission to post this interview to the internet?
Yes.
So, Miss Abraham, how old were you when the blizzard happened?
I was 15 years old.
Where did you live when the blizzard of 78 took place?
Framingham, Massachusetts.
Who were you with when the blizzard took place?
I was with my mother, my father, and my two brothers.
How many days of school did you miss?
I missed, I want to say about 10 days. We had just had February break, so it's hard to say. We had over 2 weeks off in a row.
What were you thinking when they told you there may be a blizzard coming your way?
Well, of course, being a 15-year-old kid, my first thought was no school, another snow day. Had no idea it would be over a week off. My second thought was a little scared because not knowing the severity of it, and my parents were scared and a little worried. So I got a little afraid that we wouldn't have heat or water. So a little scared. Would the emergency trucks be able to come down our street if there was an emergency?
Were you happy that you missed so much school?
I was happy.
What did you do during your week off?
Well, initially, when we weren't allowed to go outside, when it was first coming down very, very heavily, my brothers and I stayed in and with my parents played board games. And that's something we don't do as much as you used to do because of everyone's sports activities. So it brought us a little closer playing games. And then when we were once able to go outside, we built snow forts, snowmen, sledding, just playing with our friends.
So you were able to see your friends during the week?
Yes, we were very lucky that I lived in a neighborhood with lots of kids, so we all got together and we were able to play together, make snow forts, have snowball fights. So yes, that was great.
Did your mom and dad prepare for the storm?
Yes, they did. They knew the storm was coming, luckily, and my mom, she went to the food store, did what most parents do, and we had lots of extra food. I was never worried about not having enough food or water.
What did it look like outside?
It was just blindness. You couldn't see your neighbor's house. You couldn't see your cars in the driveway. That was a little bit scary when you could not see anything but just whiteness.
Did you at all or your family member leave the house to get something?
My dad once went on a snowmobile with a neighbor down to the local 7-Eleven, and it was open. Luckily it was open. The owner must have lived walking distance. And he went one day with a neighbor, just to go with the neighbor. We didn't need food at the time. The neighbor did and just wanted to have somebody go with him. But then there was another time that my dad, once the storm had stopped and the plows hadn't come through yet, put my brothers and I in a sled and walked to the 7-Eleven just to get some milk and bread. It was a lot of fun.
Did your family run out of any important necessities?
We did not. We were very fortunate, no.
What did you hate most about the blizzard and being stuck in one place?
What I hated most, I would say, is just the fear of not being able to, if there was an emergency, if someone could reach us. That was really, as a kid at 15, that was my biggest fear.
What did you love about the blizzard?
Well, what I loved, because I'm 15, was there was no school.
Did you have any memory that you remember? The best thing?
Yeah, one of the biggest memories I have is one of our neighbors' dog got loose, then was lost, and our neighborhood came together as a community trying to find the dog, and it brought us closer to our neighbors that we see but don't really know. And that was one thing we did, and we did spend a lot of time at people's homes. Everybody kind of If someone had a fireplace, they'd have a fire going and just invite everyone over to hang out. So those were nice memories. As far as getting close to neighbors that we didn't really know and getting closer to the ones we did.
Did your electricity or water stop working at any time?
No, we were very, very lucky. We were one of the lucky ones. We did not lose power at all.
What were some things that kept you all busy during the storm?
Well, for us kids, kept us busy was just sledding and building tree forts and sledding, and some of the neighbors were skiing and they let us try skiing, which I had never done before. So that kept us busy. And then once the storm stopped, of course we all had to pitch in and help shovel.
How did they clear all that snow after a week of not being able to go anywhere?
Well, eventually the snowplows made their way through. It took many, 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 many times. I can remember the snowplow coming down the street. I can still see it now. After you shovel, 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 and then a snowplow comes and buries you in again at the bottom of your driveway. But that was, I remember that. Eventually it took a long time before they could actually get their way through.
How long did the talk about the blizzard last?
I'm sorry, what?
How long did the talk about the blizzard last?
Everybody talked about it for a long time after. I don't know how long, but it was always that talk. When is the snow going to melt? Is it going to be July or August? Because we had so much snow. So people were always talking about it until finally summer, I think, finally came.
Were you sick of hearing about it all the time?
No, I wasn't. I'm sure my parents were.
What was it like going back to school and getting into the routine?
Well, at first it's a little hard because we had February break, and anytime you have any break, it's hard to get back into the routine. But we had it back to back, the storm, so it was a little bit harder. It's almost like coming off summer break and going back to school. But like anything, if you get back into that routine.
Would you want to go through an experience similar to the storm ever again?
I would not want to do that.
Can you elaborate more on that?
I will. As a parent now, I wouldn't want to go through any kind of storm like that. It was a lot of work, it's like any storm you get anyway, but this one was so scary and so drastic that I wouldn't want to be in a position where I'd have to worry about my children not getting care if they needed it, or just being stuck that long, worrying about electricity going out, worrying about no water. So no, I wouldn't, not at my age now.
I know you enjoyed the storm. Did anyone other than yourself not enjoy it?
Probably my parents if I asked them. But we all enjoyed it as kids, of course.
All right, thank you, Miss Abraham.
You're welcome.